Good morning, everyone. It's the middle of the week, and it means it's time for an awesome midweek edition of the Level 1 podcast here on DSPGaming. Today's show is special because today is the React show, meaning there have been all kinds of things saved up over the last couple of weeks that people have been asking me, hey, Phil, would you react to this? Would you watch this trailer? Or tell me what you think about this? And I just kept saying, well, I'm kind of busy right now. We haven't really gotten to it. Today is the day. Now, the weird part about all of that is I had already planned out this show ahead of time, but something happened this morning. A particular documentary just dropped, of which I can probably bring a pretty unique perspective. In fact, a certain edited video that I put out on this channel a couple of weeks ago did pretty good. And so there may be some interest in me going further. We're going to talk about all of that today, all right? So it's going to be a fun show. You are going to recommend what you would like me to react to today, and we're going to have a discussion. Should I actually respond and or react to this new documentary as well? And if I do that, how do I go about it? Because it's pretty long. So, folks, thanks for being here. Sit back and relax. It's time for the Level 1 podcast. I love it. How y'all doing today? Welcome to the show. It is Wednesday. I can actually unpin this comment now. The 6th of May, 2026. Midweek show. You know, the Level 1 podcast has been admittedly a little inconsistent recently. The reason being, the month of April was all over the place. I had several weeks where I was only doing like 4 or 5 day streaming weeks, so it was hard to figure out where to fit the show in. We had one 7-day streaming week, but then I had special events during that a week, like a marathon. So with all that stuff going on, I do feel like this podcast kind of, not necessarily got neglected, but we were doing way more morning shows than we were doing podcasts, right? And the thing is, when we do less podcasting, okay, basically, people don't know where the focal point is of the important stuff I'm talking about, and so a lot of it gets missed. I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that a lot of the stuff that I talk about on the morning show, people then right away ask me about over the course of the day or the next day. I'm like, but we just talked about that. I even titled the morning show, hey, we talked about this topic. How do you not know? It seems like most people would pay attention to the podcast over the morning show. And since there's confusion, the reason I do 2 shows is simple. The morning show is meant to be a 1-hour build-up to get attendance for my gameplay, okay? Doesn't matter what we do during it. I just need to build up attendance, so by the time that we start with gaming, we have a good amount of people on the stream, and we're not having, you know, an hour missed where everyone missed out the best parts of the stream because no one was there yet. The podcast is meant to be a show with segments, scheduled content, and important, things discussed. I'm not saying that the morning show doesn't have that, because sometimes a big news story happens, right? We just had the Steam controller drop, and then me buying it, and, you know, the success of that and all that. Now the big scalping controversy, that's a story meant to be covered, and it's a pretty interesting story I think that I can cover here on the channel. But I'm not going to be doing a podcast that's 2 hours every day and then only playing video games for 2 hours. Do you see? Sometimes I just want more gameplay. And when I want more gameplay, that's when I do the morning show. When I don't really care about putting out as much gameplay, then I do the podcast. Does that make sense? And so, in regards to all of that, I know that the podcast has been more sporadic. Some weeks I only do it once. Some weeks I do it twice. This week, it looks like I might do it 3 times, okay? That's okay, but I just want you to all know you can always stay, abreast of everything I'm doing by subscribing to the channel, by following the feed, And I always add everything to the appropriate playlist. So there's always a new Level 1 podcast added to the Level 1 podcast playlist as a running thing, so you'll always know where to find it. You can also subscribe. I don't know how many people know this. YouTube automatically establishes which shows on your channel are considered podcast shows, and you can actually subscribe to the podcast. I didn't know if you knew that. Like, if it's been established and set up as a podcast, you could actually do that. So right now, I know for a fact the Level 1 podcast is set up like that, and the Daily Wrap is set up like that. I don't know if the morning show is as of yet. I guess I could look into that. But yeah, because again, I'm getting people asking me questions. Like, we just had a big segment about that the other day. You know, I don't want to repeat myself a million times. People get tired of hearing the same answers. Anyway, good morning to everyone who is here. As I have spoken for 5 minutes, we've almost doubled attendance on the stream. Hence, this is why we need to have this kind of build-up show in the morning. So let's say hello to everyone, shall we? On the YouTube side, who do we got this morning? We've got the Chronogeist, King Michael, Sumifer, Kyrie, Bog Patrol, Rose Diamonds, Draven, Joe K. JFS, Dark OJK, Grandmaster Scrub, Brian, Chaos Goblin. That's so far. Who do we got on the kick side? Oh, Bonos Tecmo's there too. On the kick side, we got Virtual Boy defeats DSP, Pattern Player Percy, Eddie Chill, Stepdad is here this morning, Humans, Mario Handcart, Feesbot, Most Tasteless, Brunel Castro, Neckload's Evil Twin, and many, many more. How y'all doing today? So good morning and welcome to the show. Unique show today, because the whole real focus and point of today's show, I want to react to a bunch of stuff. I'm well aware that the last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of stuff going on. There's been game announcements and teasers released. There's been a trailer for a Resident Evil movie and all this stuff going on, and I really haven't reacted or responded to any of it, right? I think today, that should be our focus. Let's actually do a whole bunch of reacting. You guys, I'm going to allow you to suggest to me what you want me to react to today, because I know people are like, oh, Spider Noir, oh, this video game with vampires, oh, this. So you'll tell me what you want. The one thing I did set up was Resident Evil, because I knew you guys wanted me to see the Resident Evil movie teaser or whatever it's called. But outside of that, we'll play it by ear. I'll listen to your input, and we'll go from there. You know, it'll be a lot of reacting. Of course, there'll be chill Q&A and you know, open interactions, as always, on the show. So prepare your butts for all of that. Shout out to Bardakit. Bardakit has done 100 kicks. That is our first contribution of the morning. Thank you for the early kick support. I appreciate that very much, Bardakit. Okay. So, here's the deal. All right, because we are going to do a lot of reacting today. Good morning. There's more people joining. We got Selmia Waffle. We got Ray Rays. Who else do we got? We got a few people joining over here saying hello. What's going on, everybody? So here's the deal, okay? I already planned for this show to be the react show. Like, that was the point. The big react. We're going to react to a bunch of stuff together. It's going to be a fun one. And then all of a sudden, something happened this morning. Well, Ted Turner passed away. That's actually not what I was going to say, but rest in peace to Ted Turner. Huge, influential guy. Set up multiple TV networks. Actually had a lot to do with pro wrestling's development in the 1990s and more. Some people are mentioning that in the chat. Rest in peace to Ted Turner, who passed away today. But no, that's not what I was talking about. So if you remember, a couple of weeks ago, I had a particular video that I put out on the channel. All right. And this video did pretty darn good, at least for my criteria and standards, which aren't very, let's be honest, they're not very high. Okay. Why? Because, well, I don't usually get a lot of views on my content. Let's be honest, right? But just to show you guys, I put out this particular video, all right, which is me giving my take on the Quartering versus Kino Casino feud that's been going on now for about a month or more, and has actually, since I made this video 2 weeks ago, actually escalated and gotten even more crazy since then. Okay? So this was one of the videos that my editor put together, and what he did is he edited my take on the situation into a really cool, you know, fast-moving video with, like, collaborative information on the screen to kind of back up the things that I was saying. And the video did pretty good in 2 weeks. It got about 8,000 views. That's not bad. By the way, the video was stolen and was posted everywhere by my detractors. So in reality, it probably has been seen by like 30, 40,000 people. But, you know, that's what happens when everyone steals your shit. Great likes, over 400 likes, 160 comments. He's rational. He doesn't deflatform people. He has a calm demeanor. Sounds like a particular person. When DSP is the voice of reason, we've gone downhill as a society. No, I am the voice of reason all the time. It's just that you don't know that because you're brainwashed to think I'm some kind of a buffoon because you listen to dummies, okay? So anyway, this video did pretty good, okay, for what it was. Now, this was just a 30-minute take, abridged, you know, edited for my channel. And I was pleased with how it did. It actually brought in some attention. Some people reacted to it, other creators. And I got some people subscribing to the channel. I got some support as a result of it. Did it make me money? No. I'm not even kidding. This video with this views and whatever it didn't make me any money. Okay, I've spent more on it than I actually got out of it. But that doesn't matter. The whole idea is that overall, it helps the channel, right? I'm trying to build the channel, get an audience that are coming by to check out these highlight clips regularly. Okay? Now, the reason I bring this up is because you may or may not be aware something interesting happened this morning that had already been, you know, rumored it was going to happen. There was no definitive 100% announcement on when it would happen. No one really knew exactly when it was going to drop. Well, it dropped this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, June the King released his 3-hour, 38-minute long documentary on the quartering this morning. Now, it has 3 different titles. One is called 2 Decades of Grifting. One is called the Internet's Most Hated Grifter. And then there's another one, too. There's like 3 titles. He's using that A/B testing on YouTube. So, you know, depending on when you catch it or when you watch it, it's titled something different, okay? Interestingly enough, the quartering is wearing the Sonic hat that I used to wear because I got that hat when I played Sonic Generations like 15 years ago. It came with it at GameStop, and he's wearing the hat. I don't know why. Again, I don't really know that much about the quartering. When I did the interview with him many years ago, I really didn't know who he was, okay? Now, obviously, everyone knows who this guy is because of all the internet drama that's been based around him in the last couple of months, right? So here's the deal. There's a couple things to talk about here. Number one, ow, just hit my elbow. Number one, I'm curious. Do people want to see me react to this documentary? Okay, are you interested? People really enjoyed my take on the situation 2 weeks ago when I talked about it on the channel, and my editor made the video about it, okay? So that's, you know, that's why I'm asking, because, you know, that this could be something interesting for variety content, okay, that I could do. That's number one, right? Now, you might say, well, why is this interesting? Well, I had an interview with this guy. I've been a creator for 18 years. He's also a long-standing creator on the internet. A lot of people accuse him of being a horrendous grifter. They've said the same thing about me. The person that really is responsible for bringing the guy down is Kino Casino. I have an association with them. We all know my history there. So when you see idiots in my chat right now saying, oh, you have nothing to say about it, you're a fucking moron. Okay? You're literally a moron. Okay? You have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Okay. So, yeah, that's my question is, would this be something that people would be interested in seeing me react to? Okay, that's question number one. I see a split. Some people are saying yes, 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 and some people are saying no. Okay? Now, here's the thing. If I decide to do content based on this documentary, it's 3 hours and 38 minutes long. Okay? My own documentary that June the King put out years ago, I believe was also about that long. And when I reacted to my own documentary, it took 12 hours. Yes, 12 hours. But the difference here is that was my documentary. So I had insane amounts of stuff to talk about. All right? In this case, I'm going to be watching and absorbing information way more then I will be commentating. Like, I need to learn this guy's story before I can even comment on it, and I don't really know his story. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a different aspect than, oh, this is my story. I actually know the truth of my story, so let me tell it to you, versus, oh, this is someone who I'm learning for the first time, and I'm just basically responding to what I'm learning about the guy, right? So, if I were to do a react on this, okay, the thing is, there's a lot of factors involved. Number one, I would never react to this on DSPGaming. I want to make that abundantly clear. I would never do an insanely long react to this topic on DSPGaming. It's a react. If I'm going to do a formal react, I'll go do it over on DSP Reacts, okay? You know, reacting to gameplay trailers, movie trailers, that kind of stuff, I'll react on the podcast. But this is something that would go over on the DSP Reacts channel, okay? I would not want it to overtake the content on this channel, all right? But also, I don't think that I would want this to completely overtake and permeate all of my content. Do you see what I'm saying? Most people are going to react to this immediately. They're going to see this came out today. They're clearing their schedules because they're drama reactor creators. So all they're going to do is watch this and react to it today. This is the end all be all. By the end of today, this documentary, I'm going to predict will have at least 250,000 views. That's my prediction. At least 250,000 within the first day. Within a week, it'll probably have 1 million views. Okay? Just being honest. So, what I'm thinking is, if we were interested in doing something with this, okay, I would try it out as a trial. So maybe tomorrow night. It won't be today, because again, I already have a schedule today. Today, we're playing Soros, and we're finishing Pragmata. I'm not changing that. Okay? Maybe if you guys are interested, tomorrow night, we could do a live stream of it on the late stream over on the DSP Reacts channel. We could take a first tasting, right? 3.5 hours. And my first stream is just 2.5 hours of reacting. Probably I would get through maybe 30, 40 minutes of it. Maybe an hour if I'm lucky. Again, I probably won't pause nearly as much. But at the same time, I might have a lot to say depending on what the subject matter is, which I don't know. I don't know his story, okay? So we could do this as a test tomorrow night and see if you guys like it. And if you do like it, then we could continue on. Or we could do it as a one-off test, and if it's not good and no one likes it, then we don't do it again. Because the other factor involved here, it has to make sense and be profitable for me. It can't be, oh, I'm reacting to this for 2.5 hours and no one shows up and no one engages and no one supports the stream and it's a dead stream. My streams are doing good. I want to make this abundantly clear. My streams are doing very well. It doesn't matter if I'm playing Pokemon, Pragmata, Mouse PI for Hire, Soros, a new game, an old game. My streams are all doing well. So this is actually me stepping out of success to say, hey, I want to try something different, okay, and see how it works. So, again, here's the thing. When people are saying, well, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, but then don't ever ask me to react to anything. Don't ask for my takes on shit, because you guys begged me for my take on the quartering for weeks. And when I finally gave it and made a highlight video, it did good. So I was like, oh, so maybe this is a sign. Now I say, well, do you guys want me to react? No, don't react to that. Don't react to that. The fuck are you talking about? It's one or the other. It's not give me mixed signals, okay? The video did well. I feel like if I were to do something like this, it could do well, because here's what I really would like. This is ideal. Maybe we do an initial react of 2.5 hours. My editor edits that down to 20, 30 minutes to make a highlights. That's a highlighted video that can go live and get people interested in that kind of content over on the DSP Reacts channel, right? Now, if it does well, then I do a second stream. And then we do another stream, right? But they're separated out. It's not, oh, I'm just only reacting to this and there's no gameplay and there's no progression in anything. It would be a balance. Does that make sense? Then there could be a series of highlight clips that are made out of this that could get some traction and people could check them out. I think more people are going to end up wanting to watch the highlight clips than the live streams, to be honest with you. Okay? The uncut live stream, The highlights, yeah. People are going to like the highlights because that's going to emphasize the important stuff that I said that maybe is more interesting than watching me just watch the documentary raw. If you want to watch the documentary, you can watch it yourself. You just want to hear my responses, right? So that's my idea. If I were to do it, it would be tomorrow night, Thursday night. We would skip the Mouse PI for Hire stream for this week. And instead, we would do Part 1, DSP reacts to the Quartering documentary, and it would be about 2.5 hours on the DSP Reacts channel as my late night stream. I would need people to show up, engage, and support that stream. Okay? Now, also, it would be live streamed on Kick. All right? So you guys on Kick don't have to go anywhere. It would just be on the Kick channel, but it would be on the DSP Reacts channel on YouTube. That's a little different. I haven't streamed on that channel in over a year. So people would have to know, oh, Phil's streaming over on the alternate channel, right? A little different. Okay? Ray's, I literally just answered that question. He says, I'm not against something new if you don't really know much about him. What would the reaction be? We're both creators in the space, the same space, for about 20 years, okay? Both people have accused us of the same stuff, like grifting and stuff like that. We both have a huge association with Kino Casino, and I was interviewed by this guy years ago. When I gave my take on this guy 2 weeks ago, everyone liked it. What do you not understand that people would understand that this is a good thing to do and it's interesting? Like, what? I don't get it. What else do you need? Do I need to fucking be his best friend? Do I need to actually be involved directly with the drama? Or can we have rational thoughts here? I mean, seriously, I hate it when I get dumb criticism. Well, I don't understand. I can't make you understand logic and fact and reason. I can't do that, okay? It's pretty simple why people would want to see me react to this. I mean, holy crap. Anyway, so let me know. Here's the thing. We have to make a decision, because if we're going to do this, I have to decide basically by the end of today, okay? I don't want to necessarily 100% do it, all right? Because the thing is, it's breaking up my other content, but it's hot right now. If I'm going to do it, I have to do it now. Like, starting tomorrow, testing the water. If it does well, schedule it out that I'm doing more of it next week. It has to be now. There's also another humongous factor involved here that a lot of people may not realize. Tons of content being made about this guy is being flagged and shut down. This documentary may be gone by the end of today. It may actually be off of YouTube because it gets flagged for bullying and cyber harassment, for copyright infringement, for a million things. Videos have been getting taken down, you know, with him being the subject matter for the last month. And we don't know if it's him or someone else doing it, but it's happening. So if I'm going to act on this, it actually has to be quick. And you might say, well, aren't you taking a risk reacting to it? Well, yeah, but that's why I'm going to do it on my React channel. I'm not going to do it on the DSPGaming channel, which is my source of income. I'm going to do it on the alternate channel, so if any asshole does decide to false flag it, it doesn't take down my ability to make revenue on the internet. Does that make sense? So there you go. So let's talk about it. All right. Right now on this podcast, I want feedback. We'll talk about it right now. We'll see what you guys think. If you think it's a good idea, let's do a tentative stream tomorrow night. But here's the thing. Then I need people to actually show up, engage, and support that stream. And if the stream does well, then I'll know. That's my indication. Keep doing this. Then we'll have my editor get to work on it and do highlights of it. If it's a big flop stream, then forget it. And to be honest with you, if it flops, I don't want people bothering me about this kind of shit. Because I could do the content. I'm well equipped to do it. People find it informative and entertaining when I do. But I need people to actually care about it and support it. If you don't, then never ask for it. Because people do ask for it, but then are they going to show up? That's the real, this is like the litmus test for it, okay? This is the perfect opportunity. I'm involved with this guy. I'm involved with the casino who's on the other half of the equation. I'm not going to clean sweep here for the Quartering. But I don't like the casino, so it's like I have a very unique perspective on this situation being right in the middle of it, okay? I think that people would like that, all right? But let's see who wants it, who doesn't, and will people actually show up for it, okay? Fair enough? All right, so what I'd like to do right now, we have some shout-outs already to do. And then we're going to basically, we'll talk about it for a little bit, and then we'll get to the reacting of the other stuff, okay? So, someone tipped $1.50, says, do the react. You have a personal story that ties into it. You have rational takes. You don't slander. It'll be a nice change from all the cringy bait drama that people have been farming from it. Plus, it'll be a nice break from gaming. We want the intellectual DSP. There you go. I swear I didn't make that up. That's a legit tip that just came in. Thank you for the $1.50, whoever that was. There we go. Okay. I appreciate that. Then we have, listen to this. Pattern Player Paulie did a $5 super chat and says, as a fellow grifter and someone who has done a ton of crowdfunding and used the money on personal pleasures, your thoughts are critical input. So here's the truth, which I've talked about a million times, okay? Yes, I'm an 18-year content creator. In the 18 years that I've been a creator, there absolutely have been times when I've been down on my luck, when things were not looking good. There were times when actually I thought I was going to lose everything. And there are times when absolutely, I will tell you that I grifted. 100%. It's happened, right? It's undeniable. The evidence is there. Oh, look, a marathon and we have a goal. Let's hit the goal and, you know, oh, look, let's put on vests and hats and things for when we hit support goals and shit like that. That's grifting. To an extent, that's grifting. It's not as bad as saying, oh, you know, we need to make money for this particular thing. And then someone raises a ridiculous amount of money, and then come to find out they didn't even spend it on the thing they said they were going to spend it on. That's pretty bad. People have accused me of that, and there's never any evidence of it because that's not true. That's never happened. But what has happened is I've had these big events, oh, let's raise money, let's do that, and stuff like that, right? So, you want to call me a grifter, you can, but no one can accuse me of being a modern-day grifter. I don't even have goals on my streams anymore, despite the fact that these idiots can't get it through their heads, right? I do streams that barely make anything because I like the games I'm playing. And the reason I can do that is because people support me and like me enough that overall I'm doing great and I can have those slower streams. It's not about having some arbitrary goal to hit. It's not about begging for it. It's not about demanding it. It's not about coercing people into it. It's just about having a good time and people supporting the content they like. That's the modern DSP. I've taken 18 years to get to this point, but I'm very happy that I'm here. I like being here way more than all those other iterations of DSP that came before that were begging and grifting and trying to find some shtick in order to get you to contribute. Now, people just like the content and support it because they do, okay? And I really appreciate that. So, thank you for that. The $5 super chat is hilarious because the guy literally is saying, well, you're a grifter, just like the quartering. Okay, you could say that, and you could show clips from the past, but you just sent me $5, and I didn't ask for it. So if you're not actually disproving the point you're saying and showing that I'm not a grifter anymore, that people just support for the sake of doing it, I don't know what else to say. Right? Okay. All right. So every person who just says, I asked for it, is actually getting a fucking ban, and don't ever ask to come back because you're never getting unbanned. That includes you, Rowdy Trotter, and you dunces. I literally haven't said a word about income on this fucking stream this morning. Go fuck yourselves, you dented losers. You're so pathetic. You can't get it through your head that people change for the better and that things are better now than they've ever been in my life, and you can't fucking handle it. You can't cope with it. So you fucking seethe and get so angry at the success of someone else, and then you lie because you can't fucking handle it. Tough shit. Look, the guy literally just sent me another $5 to reiterate a bunch of bullshit that my detractors say. I'm literally not going to read it, but I'm going to keep his money. Isn't that great? Isn't that amazing? So thanks for another $5, dummy. You want to send me some more? That's cool, dude. Go ahead, go for it. I really appreciate it. Anyway, let me hear. I'm even going to get him on the leaderboard. What's his name? Pattern Player Paulie. No. Alex from Phoenix, don't ban him. Unban him. Because he's dumb and he's probably going to send me even more money. That's what I mean. These people are so stupid. They actually think that, like, here, I'm actually going to unban him. Let's have him send me some more. Because you know he's going to. Because he's stupid. You know? You can't make up how dumb these people are. Don't ban them. Allow them to share the stupidity and allow them to share the wealth because they're that dumb. Keep going. Come on. Keep reiterating and regurgitating the same fucking detractor memes. Go for it. Keep spitting them out. I love it, right? Anyway, so thank you to those who legitimately support me, and also thanks to the dummies, I guess. I don't know what else to say, right? All right, I just received a $10 tip. Hold on a second here. If I could find the $10 animation, I would play it, I swear. There it is. Okay. So I just got a $10 tip from Arcadia. Let's get that on the leaderboard and see what they have to say. Thank you for 10 bucks. Okay. They said, I think you're paying an editor is a great move. The edited videos are entertaining and the intros are a big improvement. Funny, your detractor said you'd never be willing to pay an editor. That's because they're stupid. Just like this guy who's sending me money to just regurgitate detractor memes. I mean, you have to understand that these are the dumbest people on the planet. Okay? That's just... Matter of fact, that's not even, like, in question. They're just that stupid. Because if they were smart, they'd actually be doing, like, things for themselves that were productive and meaningful and making them money or getting them popularity. Instead, they just sit on the internet dumping on people because they're dumb. That's what dumb people do. Anyway, thank you for the 10 bucks. And yes, I agree with you. I like this edited content. I want to make more of it, but I need to find things that are worth it. You know, me doing a montage of playing Pokemon the other day that has only gotten 2,500 views. May put a little bit of emphasis on my Pokemon gameplay, but it really doesn't do a heck of a lot for me or the channel. You know what I'm saying? But me doing a react to a timely thing that's just happening right now that's hot, that I've already given my thoughts on 2 weeks ago, and it did well, this could actually result in something good, you know, something that people will tune into and be interested in. So that's why I'm thinking that this could be a good thing. 1 second. Okay. So, there was a $5 super chat from John who says, have you ever thought about doing more PG-13 content? I'm not really sure what that means, John. What do you mean by that? I would argue that the vast majority of my content these days is pretty PG-13. I don't really swear in a crazy way like I used to. Like, I used to always drop the F-bomb, right? I used to always over-the-top sexualized commentary, racial jokes and things like that. Like, most of that has been completely scaled back and cut down. Do I swear? Yes, I do. I still swear when I play video games, but only when if it's a situation where things are falling apart or it's like an extreme emotional reaction, like fighting games. Oh my God, right? Fighting games, I will lose it pretty much 10 times out of 10. All right? So people are used to and like the rated R fill, but I've absolutely cut down on the amount that I talk like that, particularly like on a podcast or something like this, unless I'm completely embarrassing idiots like I just did, okay? I usually won't even be agitated. I'll be more calm demeanor and just kind of talking matter-of-factly, you know? So I would argue that I do actually do more PG-13 content these days than I usually do or have ever done before. And by the way, I'm happy for that. Okay? I don't want to be the guy that the only way that I can get a reaction is to swear every 10 seconds. You know, like most people who do drama content on the internet, and they constantly are saying variations of the F word or the F word itself, or saying that people are homosexuals, or, you know, I could keep going a million, you know what I'm saying? They literally just have to constantly be saying the risque thing. Do you realize that's based off of my old style, right? Which, by the way, is based off of even older styles like the Angry Video Game Nerd. Like, it's the same shtick. It gets tired. That shit is actually played out, but every new generation that comes to watch this content just likes it for some reason. You know, I did it for a while to attract the attention of teenagers for the first 5-6 years I was doing content. Since I became an interactive live streamer, I became less and less like that and more mature in my style. I want to be a serious creator. I don't want to just sit here swearing constantly like an idiot. Okay, I don't think that that's going to attract a crowd that I'm interested in having interactions with or entertaining. If that's what you want, go for it. More power to you. You're going to attract immature teenagers. A lot of them will throw money at you too. I mean, it's proven. But I don't want to be that kind of creator. I'm not interested in that, you know? So I changed for the better. And that's why I guess you could consider me way more PG-13 of a creator these days than ever before. Again, not to say that every once in a while I won't drop an F-bomb or get really agitated at something. But for the most part, yeah, you tune into my content and you're not going to really hear me losing it or going crazy, right? So Beaver Bother tipped me $1.50. Thank you, Beaver Bother, for the $1.50 tip. Appreciate it. Okay. What's up, Chris? How you doing? All right, so now allow me to propose the question. Let's actually do a poll on each side of things. Do you guys think that me doing a big react, okay, tomorrow night, a react stream to this new documentary to test the waters and see how it would do is worth it? Do you think people would show up, watch, engage, and support that kind of stream? Do you think it would be worthwhile to have a highlight video made out of that stream? Or is this all a complete waste of my time and I should just stick to gaming? Okay? So give me a second here. Okay. Okay, pull this up on both sides. Let's see what you guys say. I just explained, but let me go again. It would be an initial stream. The documentary is 3.5 hours long. I can't react to that in one go. That's hours and hours of content. It would be an initial stream tomorrow night on my late stream. So it would start around 7 o'clock, probably content starting around 7:30. I would react for about 2 to 2.5 hours on the DSP Reacts channel. Not on this channel, DSP Gaming, but over on the DSP Reacts channel. Okay? And basically, we would see who shows up, who watches it, who engages, and does it get support. If it does well, then I would commit to future streams to keep going through the documentary. If it does poorly, then no. Now, also, I want to see, should I make highlight clips based on that? If I made highlight clips, let's say my editor goes through the show and makes a 30, 40-minute highlight clip out of this 2 to 2.5 hour stream, will that do well? Right? So that's what I want to see. But I don't want to do it and change my schedule around and take the time to do it if no one cares. Okay? Okay. Let's see here. Rose Diamond says, I say it's a waste of time only if you do it on a different channel. This idea will die on the vine over there. Not a good judge of what works or not. See, Rose Diamonds, I don't believe that. Here's why. I can easily advertise it on this channel, and I still post it up on my social media, on my X account. I will advertise it and post it up on this channel so people will know to go check it out over on that channel. I think it would do fine. And the truth is, if I'm going to do full reacting, I need to do it over there. It's called DSP Reacts. Like, that's the point of the channel. And I have to do it on that channel because there's been mass flagging of these videos about the quartering all over the internet, and no one knows who's doing it. Everyone accuses the quartering, but a lot of people are under the impression it's not him too. He says it's not. So there is potential that someone would flag anything down, and I can't have this channel flagged. I just can't take that risk. This is my channel to make income, you know? Satan says, what's up? I say do it. Zanzibar Knight says, don't waste an evening on drama, especially the quartering. Mozzie says, vote yes. He wants everyone to vote yes. Spoon says, if you vote no, you're cucking content. Mercury Play says, is there a way to avoid drama content surrounding you? I have no interest. I feel bad that people attack you. Sadly, people have an entire industry based on this on the internet. I'm not joking. There's an entire group of probably a few hundred creators who just try to dunk on me every day for literally nothing because I don't do anything dunk-worthy at all. I just sit here and play games, right? So the problem is if you start watching my content, the YouTube algorithm will start feeding you all of their content because their content is of the kind that the algorithm likes. Their content is edited, abridged, thumbnail, title, you know, all the stuff that's angled towards the algorithm. It's not raw gameplay or podcasting like my content is. It's more catered to what the AI will push. So if you start watching, oh, DSP is playing Saros, let me watch that. You'll watch the stream, and then immediately it will suggest a detractor video after the fact. Like, wait, what just happened? Why would I want to watch a detractor of DSPs if I just watch this raw content? Because the AI algorithm is garbage. So my recommendation is only check out the content on the channel. Like I said, if you subscribe to this channel, you'll get my stuff in your feed. You could watch it there, okay? I usually don't watch anything in the suggested feed on YouTube because it's usually trash. Like, no exaggeration. You'll click on one video of one topic, and you'll get 17 garbage videos about the same topic that are nowhere near as good as the one you just watched. I've seen this all the time on YouTube. Their AI algorithm really is trash, right? And I've already shown you on the channel how to find stuff by searching my playlist tab. That's the best way to find legacy content, or just follow your inbox or my main channel page to see what I'm up to, you know, after that. If you see this stuff in your suggested, like, oh my God, it's a detractor video, you can always say, never recommend this channel, you know, don't show this again, stuff like that, and then they'll get out of there. Because that used to happen to me. Like, I would watch just one of my videos back to see what it looked like, and then all of a sudden I get detractor recommendations. So I just said, don't ever show these again, and now I never see them again. Okay? So we got some contributions coming in and questions. Let's see here. Oh, I know. Someone just said it's hard to find your content. It's like you're shadow banned. I'm not shadow banned. It's that my detractors gamed the system for about 10 years while I didn't. Like, I just made legit content and didn't care. They literally stole my tags. They stole the titles of my videos. They again, drama thumbnails, drama titles that are clickbait that aren't even true to the content of the video to get people to click and watch theirs. And that forces people to see that crap in the algorithm, even if it's not good. Okay? So someone tipped $1 and said, Phil, your poll is getting screwed by your detractors. I have inside knowledge. Right now, they have ganged up to vote no because they think it makes you mad. Just a heads up, all the people on the Raw Phil stream are voting no on purpose on your stream. Well, I know that for a fact, and here's why. You ready? Hold on a second. Let me add your $1. Here's how I can always tell when a poll is skewed by a bunch of mentally deficient losers. So currently on Kick, I have 95 total viewers. Okay? Looking at the Kick poll results, 24 people voted yes to do the react, 35 voted no. Add that together, that's about 60 viewers. Not once ever in the history of me running a poll has 2/3 of my viewing audience actually voted on the poll. Usually when I do a poll, it'll be about, if I'm lucky, 1/4 to 1/3 of the people will vote. So knowing right there that artificially 1/3 or more of the audience came in to vote and probably all voted no, it actually means that the poll was voted for and yes, and the answer is yes. People do actually want to see it on the Kick side. But probably about 15, 20 of those no votes are fake. Okay, because I'm not stupid. I know how it works. On the YouTube side, let's see what that poll looks like. So on the YouTube side, here we go again. I have 232 viewers, 187 votes. Again, that's overwhelming, like 2/3 to almost 3/4 of my viewing audience supposedly voted on this poll. Now it's up to 192 votes, and it's 41% yes, 59% no. So again, knowing that usually I'll only get 25% to a third of the people watching a stream voting, here somehow it's 3/4. You could just eliminate 50% of the vote, and that would be the no's. You see? I'm not dumb, but they are so stupid. They think that I am, and it never works, but they still try. They don't understand how mentally deficient they are. So, yeah, essentially what I'm seeing here is there is interest, okay? Bog Patrol just did a $10 super chat and says, I don't know about Kick. It's split in the middle here on YouTube. That means half the people for sure won't support it. Well, that's not true because, again, that's a skewed poll. 195 people out of 230 voted on the poll. No, they didn't. That's a complete and utter lie. Don't worry, Bog Patrol, because he said more. I'm going to shout it out in a second. So Bog Patrol says, react to abiotic factor. Let me see if I can find that. Here it is, abiotic factor. It came out in July of last year. Okay. Excuse me. We could take a look at it. It's like a minute trailer. We could watch that. Okay. And then he says, can you do a podcast live on YouTube Music? It is, actually. Are you aware of that? So that's one of the things that you can actually do, is if you are a YouTube Premium subscriber. I don't know if you knew that, okay? So if you're a YouTube Premium subscriber and basically you follow certain shows, like the Level 1 podcast is listed on YouTube Music as a podcast you can subscribe to. I don't know if you knew that. So you subscribe to the YouTube Music app, and then it just shows up every day whenever there's a new episode in your feed, as if it was any other show that you subscribe to. So you can do that right now if you are a YouTube Premium subscriber or a YouTube Music subscriber, or both, because if you are Premium, you have music. You can go there and you can subscribe to the Level 1 podcast and to the Daily Wrap. I'm curious, now that we're talking about it, now I want to find out. Did they also categorize the morning show? They didn't. They have not categorized the DSP morning show as a podcast. Set an existing playlist as a podcast. Here we go. The DSP morning show playlist. Here it is. I'm going to set it up right now. Oh, you've got to be joking. Thumbnail is required. Your thumbnail must be a square. Hold on one second. YouTube is so retarded. Your thumbnail must be a square. You fucking idiots. There, I said the F word. Yes, because YouTube frustrates me frequently with this nonsense. It must be a square. Oh. See, that's not a square. This is so dumb that they want me to make a big fucking square out of it. There, that looks like a square. I wonder if this will work. We're gonna find out. They're gonna say, oh, it's not square enough. Yeah, it's not square enough. I'm sorry, guys. If I want to make this a podcast, I actually have to do this. So let's see. Edit. How do I change the dimensions? I don't know how to change the dimensions in Paint. I was going to do it fast, but I can't do it fast because Paint, they changed it over the years. Now you can't even see the dimensions of the image anymore. Oh, here it is. Okay. Here we go. That looks terrible now, but hey, it's a square. That looks absolutely terrible, but it's a square. Here's what I should do then. Okay, hold on. I know what I'm going to do. Sorry for wasting everyone's time because, you know, YouTube is so stupid. Oh, you want to make your show a podcast? You need to have a square thumbnail. You can't save it as a podcast till you've created a square thumbnail. What are you talking about? Why do I have to do that? Like, what? But that's YouTube. Okay, so here it is. So I'm going to do, click on this, pixels. So I'm going to make it 752 by 752. There, now it looks terrible, but it's a square. So I can use this. I'm going to call it Ugly Thumb. Or Stupid YouTube. There you go. Ugly thumbnail for Stupid YouTube. That's literally what I just called it. Because I had to do this on the fly. Because YouTube is so stupid. Okay. Hey, look, it took it too. I mean, it's tremendous. Okay, so I've made the DSP morning show now an actual podcast that you can subscribe to. So in reaction to what Bog Patrol just said, or was it Bog Patrol? No, whoever just said, hey, can you make your show? I think it was Bog Patrol. He says, can you make it so that it will show up on like YouTube Music? Yes. So here's how you do it now. If you're on YouTube Music or you're your YouTube Premium subscriber, you go to YouTube Music and you search for, either the Level 1 Podcast, you search for the Daily Wrap, or you search for DSP Morning Show. You should find that in the feed. You should be able to subscribe to it, and then it will show up in your feed every day. So I did it live. Sorry that I had to do it that way, because, you know, YouTube is absolutely stupid. Oh, you must have a square thumbnail to make a podcast. That's what coders do. Not people who use the site or watch the videos. Coders. Well, if they want to make a podcast, they better have a perfectly square thumbnail, or we're just going to deny that. What? Anyway, thank you. The Epsilon Program 2 for $2 says, do you want to understand completely to be complete? Yes. Thank you for $2. I appreciate that. Okay. All right, so I'm curious what I should do tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to do this or not for sure. Okay, I'm on the fence about it right now. So we'll talk about it today. Let's see what you guys want to do. Will we do it tomorrow or not? It's up to you. It'll be a test late stream if we do it. We'll see how it goes. If it goes well, great. And if not, we won't. But if I don't get enough feedback today, or people are like, nah, then forget it. We'll see. I'm interested in doing it. All right, I am interested in doing it, but I have to gauge that interest too. I have to not just do it because I want to do it. I have to do it because, you know, you guys want it too, right? It's not just about me. So let's see if we get enough people who are interested in it for tomorrow or not. Okay, it would take over for the Mouse PI for Hire stream, and then we would test it. If it does well, we'll do more of it next week, but it would push some gameplay, right? What are you going to do? The good news is right now, we're okay on gameplay. We're about to finish. We just finished Dragon Quest. We're about to finish Pragmata tonight. We're getting close to the end of Mouse PI for Hire. So, you know, now would be a good time to do something like this. Okay. What's up, Mr. Dude? How you doing? All right. So here's the deal. Today is the react show. Let's go. Let's do some reacting. The first thing that I know everyone wants me to react to is this Resident Evil trailer. So I want to do that right now. Okay? Ready? I have not seen this whatsoever. I know nothing about it. Okay? Like, I literally know nothing about it. I haven't seen this at all. So I have no idea what we're about to watch. Ready? The Resident Evil movie trailer. Hello? Resident Evil, set in the countryside in snowy area, right? Yes. Just like every Resident Evil game up to now.
I had a little bit of a problem on the road. I was wondering if I could use your phone. Hello?
Yes, we're sorry.
Hey, babe. Look, I'm really sorry that we got disconnected earlier, but, some things have, happened. I'm in, like, a seriously fucked up situation right now. And it looks like there's a chance that we might not get to talk to each other again.
Oh, that's interesting.
Again.
Okay. What the... This is Resident Evil? That's a zombie? That's supposed to be a zombie, I guess? That zombie has a lot of limbs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 limbs. 3 legs and 3 arms. It's interesting. That's also the world's biggest nightgown.
I just wanted you to know. I love you.
That's it? So, oh, wait, let's just see if there's anything else. Probably not. No. So, this is the guy who made Barbarians, which is a movie I saw a few years ago that I did a little movie review on over on DSP Reacts. At the time that I saw it, it blew me away because it was so different from like other modern horror movies. It was very visceral, very gory, very intense, very suspenseful. And at the end of the movie, it didn't fully explain everything, but what was explained was really effed up. And then there was Weapons, which I saw last year, which also I liked. I mean, I didn't absolutely think it was the best movie I've ever seen, but it was a riveting horror movie with a lot of gore at the end, okay? Once again, I think they've done it. And what do I mean by that? I think that what they've done is they've taken the base idea of Resident Evil, and they're going to make a movie or movie series out of it that is not actually Resident Evil. Just like the original movie series that they made, where the first movie was based on the premise that there was some kind of a viral outbreak that turned people into monsters and zombies. And then by the time that they got to the second movie, you realize this really wasn't Resident Evil. Then the third movie, you're like, this definitely isn't Resident Evil. And then by the 18th movie, or however many there were, you were like, what the hell just happened? You know, the entire series was based off of some super-powered woman who's not in the games. It has nothing to do with the lore of the games whatsoever. And, you know, a good action series, but has nothing to do with Resident Evil besides the fact that they would literally copy-paste enemies from Resident Evil into the movies just for an action scene, just for the sake of saying it's Resident Evil, and then make a whole movie that has nothing to do with it, right? So in this case, I think what they've done, this is not going to be an action flick, okay? It's not. It's not going to be like those original Resident Evils. This is now the horror aspect of body horror. People are apparently being mutated into hideous creatures and monsters, right? And if anything, the one thing that it looks like it's going to replicate is that feeling of isolation and solo survival that you get from a classic survival horror game. This guy appears to be alone for the whole movie. He's trying to call, it sounds to me like his girlfriend or whatever, and basically he can't even get through to her. So it's kind of like a solo narration deal, and it looks like he's going to be trying to scrape up supplies and things for himself, you know what I mean, to stay alive. It's interesting. But is it going to be Resident Evil? I mean, there obviously were zombies, but there was also whatever the hell those other mutations were, you know. What are they going right to the extreme from the beginning? Because Resident Evil didn't get crazy until like 4 and then 5, and then it went extreme with the mutations and things, right? But at least for the first three games, it was mostly regular zombies, a few variations, bio-terror, things like lickers and things like that, but it was still kind of grounding. And then it went crazy off the rails. Is this going crazy off the rails right from the beginning? And also, interesting, this is not the story at all of anyone from Resident Evil. This is just a new guy who looks like he's struggling to survive, right? Let me put it this way. I think it would be a good watch. I don't know if it's a good Resident Evil film. I don't know if they should call it Resident Evil. But it seems like it might be a good watch. I've seen 2 movies from this guy, and I've enjoyed both of those movies. So along that line, maybe this would be a good what's his name? Kreger? Maybe it would be a good Zach Kreger film, but I don't know if it's going to be a good Resident Evil film. Does that make sense? Okay. And by the way, I'm almost positive that YouTube was telling me I can't react to that and saying if you don't stop reacting to it, we're going to shut down your stream. So once again, a movie trailer that apparently you can't react to, despite the fact that it's fair use to do a react, and it's been proven in a court of law that it is, YouTube doesn't abide by the law. Isn't that nice? Okay. So that's that. I think we have a few shout-outs to do, and then we will... I have one shout-out to do, and then we will do the next react. This person tipped $2, says, watch Zach Kreger's interview about the movie. He explains what he's trying to do. Not a long interview. It's on YouTube. Yeah, I think I heard a little bit about it, and I heard that basically what he's saying is he wants to make a movie that has not the games. That if you want the games, play the games, but this is in the, you know, the universe of the games, but it's meant to be its own standalone thing. That basically in the games, when you play as these characters who are already established, like let's say he made the movie about Leon. Well, Leon's already like a superhero in the games, right? But if you actually want the movie to be scary, you have to like a normal guy trying to survive in this crazy world of established horror. And I think that's what he was trying to do, is do something really different. I guess that makes sense. I just hope that here's the problem. The original movies weren't canon at all. They had nothing to do really with Resident Evil, despite having that name and copy-pasting the creatures from Resident Evil into them, right? There you go. I got another $2 tip. Are you ready for the New World Order liberal, this person says. The New World Order liberal? Who's that? You think that the New World Order is going to be a liberal? I don't know what this person is talking about. Thanks for $2. Okay. That is true. Jay Kuma says, you're also describing the plot of Resident Evil 7. You're right. The plot of Resident Evil 7 was you're supposed to be like a normal guy who gets sucked into the world of Resident Evil out of nowhere, and he has to figure out how to survive. Then, of course, the plot goes off the rails when he's infected with the mold and all that crap, right? You're right. Big Mac says, what do you think is the reason they just won't make movies based on the games or even the Ethan Winter games? It's a good question because it's established lore. It would be easier to make because the story's already done for you, right? They would just have to imagine if they did a movie that was just Resident Evil 1, following the paths of Chris and Jill through the mansion, and maybe you could go back and forth between the two of them. And at the end, they unite to fight the tyrant, and then they escape. And then they could do Resident Evil 2. Same time frame that Chris and Jill were doing stuff, but it's Leon and Claire. And they go through Raccoon City, and it's their two juxtaposing scenarios back and forth until at the end they survive together. You know what I mean? They could do those movies. I don't know why they don't. Maybe they don't have confidence in it. But, I mean, these are ridiculous high-selling game franchises that are tried-and-true hits, and they have established fan bases that likely would go and line up for the movie. I mean, everyone went to see Resident Evil 1 in theaters. Like, literally everyone. It was like a cultural event because people wanted to see, can they make a video game movie that's good? At the time, they hadn't made one yet that was good. And so everyone went to see that crap, and it made a ton of money. But then it was the subsequent films that came out after it that people realized this is never going to have anything to do with Resident Evil, is it? Okay. So let's react to this other thing that someone had already asked for, and then we'll take suggestions for more reacting. Okay? Cool. Let me unmute this. So this is a game called... Wait. What is this game called? Abiotic Factor. Okay? Don't know anything about it. Let's go. What the? Is this just an expansion trailer? I think it is. This isn't actually the trailer for the game. I thought it was. Here we go.
The wires that weave, the heart unbring the sky.
Dr. Mance, Cascade Facility.
Whoa.
We are charting new territory. I feel we have passed through the looking glass.
Warning. Biological incursion detected.
Oh, so these are aliens? Or are they interdimensional beings? Are they just mutations? Like, what's going on here?
For this, no one was.
My prediction has come to pass. They come seeking anomalies. I fear they will only be content when this place is reduced to ash.
There's a million universes out there, and they're all trying to eat each other. Maybe
So it's a multiverse plot.
Simply our turn.
It's been a long road, but I truly think we're nearly there.
Ask yourself, has the moment arrived? Or will it wait?
So yeah, people are saying it looks like kind of Half-Life. Yeah, it does. It looks very Half-Life-esque, doesn't it? Kind of that similar plot of scientific experimentation gone wrong. They opened an interdimensional gate to other worlds, and the worlds are coming through and destroying ours and stuff like that. That's what it looks like. Okay. Okay. All right, what other suggestions do we have? You guys go ahead and, suggest some stuff in chat. Games and stuff. Wasn't there a game? You guys had said it's from the makers or former makers of Witcher 3. And isn't it like a vampire game? You guys had asked me to watch and react to that, and I forgot all about it. I don't know what it's called. Oh, you want me to do Spider Noir? All right, hold on. Let me see if I can find that. That would be interesting. From Sony Pictures Television, Spider Noir. Now, hold on. There's two versions. There's a full color version, and there's a black and white version. You want to know what's weird? The full color version has 3 million views. The black and white version only has 294,000 views. Do you not understand that it's supposed to be black and white? Oh, where am I? Here we go. Wait, there's too many. There's a Prime Video. I don't know which one's real. Oh, no, this is... Okay, this one has 6.5 million views. Okay. This must be the good one. So, I'm going to have to... So just so you guys know, there's no way I can play this without pausing. Because if I play without pausing, it'll get claimed and they'll shut my stream down. So, I'm going to have to pause and talk. There's no way. It's 2.5 minutes long. I got almost shut down for the 1 minute, like, Resident Evil shit. So they're definitely going to come after me for Spider Noir. Okay? I'll do my best.
Every mystery forms a complex...
Why is the volume so low? What the hell? Why is the volume so low? I could barely hear Nicolas Cage talking. Why can't they get a solid volume that's set for all this shit? How dumb. All right, so now I got to pump up the volume on the stream. Hold on. Okay, hopefully you can hear it now. Okay.
But pull the right strand, and it's a straight line to the answer.
So he played the Spider Noir character in the Enter the Spider-Verse movie, correct? And then it was so popular, that's why they decided to make a whole, like, show based off of it.
Universe trends to disorder. Monsters on the loose. Elemental chemical. All you can do is fight to keep the chaos from your door.
I came here to offer you a job. My friend just...
Ben Reilly. Wasn't Ben Reilly the other Spider-Man? The one that was the clone? But then they tried to say he was the real Spider-Man, but then they changed the plot and said he was a clone again. I've never watched or read Spider Noir. I don't know anything about it. So.
Weird.
You haven't given us much to go.
What can I say? The world's a dangerous place.
Sandman.
But I think you're braver than you let on.
I bet that hurt.
Got me growing 6 black tentacles. You've been in a hole ever since Ruby died.
We're chasing ghosts.
Maybe we can be alone together.
This is your chance to put that shovel down.
So what?
Who the hell is the guy on fire? I'm trying to think, in the Spider-Man universe, was there a fire villain like that? I'm sure there was, but it doesn't come to mind. Obviously, one guy was Sandman, who punched him off the top of the building.
Let the best man live.
That must be Electro. So Electro's in it.
This is how it ends.
The people could use a hero. Fighting is the point.
He's the best show in town.
Is that guy supposed to be his version of Uncle Ben who's talking to him, maybe? I don't know. Also, the YouTube chat has not moved for 2 minutes, and I don't know if that's because it is glitched. The YouTube chat, no one's spoken in 2.5 minutes. Is YouTube site even working? What is going on over there? Okay, now it's moving. I don't know what happened. You guys were like dead silent. Okay.
What happened to your face?
I
I'm old.
walked into a door.
How many times?
Well, that's new. Yes, it sounds crazy, I know.
When does that come out? It doesn't say. Oh. It comes out May 27th? Oh, interesting. I want to watch that. Here's the thing. The one criticism I have of that is... The one criticism I have of that is that, I hate to say it, Nicolas Cage is too old for it. Like, if they had done this 10, 15 years ago, it would have been, like, perfect. He's kind of old now, which I'm not hating on him. He's still a good actor, right? But he's kind of old to be, like, an active Spider-Man. How is he going to be, you know what I mean? Like, once you get to be an old superhero, he probably won't be able to do as much as he could do. You know what I mean? I feel like if they'd done it 15 years ago, it would have been perfect, but they took too long. But, I mean, what can you do? That's time, I guess. And now they finally decided, oh, now's the time to make this series. Like, dude. But, no, that's what I'm saying. Listen, I know I'm old, too. He's older than me, but, dude, I'm old. I'm an old game streamer. I don't fit in with the young crowd, right? I get it. But at the same time, I mean, I think that would have been better that they did it. I feel like the character is younger. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get the feeling like he's supposed to be an older version of Spider-Man, but not, like, really old. Like, Nick Cage is getting up there in age now. And, like, that, they should have done it earlier. But I still think it's going to be good. That looks good to me. It looks like it's going to be fun. Seriously. He's not 93. How old is Nicolas Cage? Let's find out. He is 62 years young. That's actually, I'm going to be honest, I thought he was older. He actually looks older in the show, doesn't he? He doesn't. I thought he was like almost 70. He's only 62. That's not so bad, I guess. There you go. All right. Not so bad. Could be worse. The Blood of the Dawn Walker. Thank you. This is what people were asking me to react to. The Blood of the Dawn Walker. Here it is. Story trailer. Okay, we'll watch this in a second. Let me change all the volumes back now so it doesn't blow everybody's ears out, because probably it's going to be way too loud now. Oh, I actually have to go to the screen that has it, don't I? Some genius level stuff right there. Okay. All right, here we go. Blood of the Dawn Walker, a game supposedly from former game developers who made Witcher 3. Why is the frame rate so terrible? You see how bad it's all choppy? This is officially on the PlayStation channel too. Wow.
I want you to watch. What did you do to me? Where are they? Where are my family?
Jesus. The coronation. It's in 30 days.
So Princess wants to be a prince now. And mark the occasion with my family's blood.
Brentsis will rip you to shreds. There might be another way. If you are to stand a chance, you need to prepare. You need to take risks. Find allies.
I have no love for Princess's regime. He is a vile monster.
Some have already taken up arms, haven't they?
A Vrakir joining the rebellion? Are you serious? What on earth are you?
It's Witcher-esque, is it not? It seems like it's Witcher. Like, even the way the animations and the combat are playing out, it's very Witcher similar. So when you say, oh, these are former devs of Witcher, I was like, yeah, I'm not shocked. It definitely seems like it's Witcher.
It's as if the Vrakir in you is dormant during the day and awakens with nightfall.
You're not the only one wanting to see Brentsis turn to ash. We're in for a rough time. Follow me and do your best to survive.
It's easy to go a step too far. Go down a path you can't turn back from.
I think it's high time you tell me what the hell is going on.
In the end, it's every man for himself.
As I see it, we're both far beyond redemption.
Doesn't mean we should kill people on a whim. I'm just trying to save my family.
Good. Bad. Fairy tales. People tell themselves to preserve their sanity.
It's a PS5 exclusive, according to this, right? It's not even on PC at all. I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Like, I'm watching it and I'm like, I don't know what to make of it. Is it really just a Witcher knockoff, but it's with vampires? He's a dawn walker, meaning he can actually walk in the sunlight, and he's not affected by it, but I thought vampires can't walk in the sun. In this universe, maybe they can. I don't know. Oh, Zelvania says it will be on Steam. So what the hell? I hate when they do that. So this will be on Steam, too, not just PlayStation. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. It may be too samey. It may be too Witcher-esque. Maybe the entire game just plays like Witcher. Maybe it's like Witcher 4, only you're not Geralt anymore. Now you're a vampire. You know? I think it's interesting that you could turn into like a werewolf and you have like a screech. Like you have all these vampire abilities. That could be neat. And depending on how maybe you level your character, you can use different abilities. That could be interesting. I don't know. Let me put it this way. It doesn't look awful, but it also didn't impress me either. I'm kind of like somewhere in the middle. So that's kind of a game that maybe it's worth trying. And if it catches on, great. And if we don't like it, we just move on. I don't know. But I'm not like blown. Oh, wow. I'm so excited. You know what I'm saying? No, I've not seen the Clayface trailer, which is the standalone Batman movie, right? About Clayface. Two weeks ago. It's only a minute long. It's only a minute. You want to watch Clayface quick? Okay. He's very handsome. Take a look. Okay. Yikes. You have to, like, pause to see the things in between. They're just flashes. Ugh. Oh, man, his mouth. It's weird that they're doing these movies. Like, why are they making a Clayface movie? Like, what convinced them that just Clayface, the villain, without Batman and all that lore, would be a convincing movie? Right? Like, I don't know what else to say about it. It's like, we know Clayface. Clayface, he's a Batman villain who I believe, I think it was an accident. It wasn't intentional. His body becomes malleable like clay. And he can basically pretend to be anyone else because he's a shapeshifter. But at the same time, his real form is out of control. He can't really fully control the transformation. So he loses his shape and form and becomes kind of like a gooey body horror story, right? At the same time, he's actually one of the most dangerous Batman villains because, number one, he could look like anyone else. So you never know if anyone you're interacting with could be Clayface. Number two, he can grow exponentially in size, which is weird. Like, what is he absorbing to become bigger? I don't know if it's ever really explained. And he could become, like, hardened, so he could have, like, limbs that are, like, giant weapons and stuff, or he could turn to blades and, like, stab and impale you and stuff. Kind of like the T-1000 from Terminator 2, right? That's kind of what one of the things that it's kind of based on or similar to. And Batman tries various ways to stop him. He tries superheating him, supercooling him, you know, to try to kill him, just like the T-1000. So, pretty crazy. I don't know how that movie's going to go, but no matter how it goes, I kind of feel like it doesn't matter because you know that if he's going to be a Batman villain in that James Gunn DC universe that they're now creating, he can't die, right? No matter what happens in the movie, he's going to be fine because he eventually has to show up later on for Batman. So there's really no stakes involved in the movie. It's just an origin story. A body horror origin story. Yes, Batman defeated him tons of times. Very, very similar to Sandman in the Spider-Man universe, where his body is very malleable and can take different forms. So, you know, Spider-Man would find ways to mess with Sandman, hit him with water and stuff like that. So it's the same thing with Clayface, you know? Okay. All right, what else? We still have some time. What else would you guys like to see me react to? I would like to actually just do some Q&A with you guys, too. But if there's another, like a final one or two things you want to see me react to, now would be the time. Jay Kuma, we've seen Core Keeper before. We've already reacted to it before. Doesn't seem like anyone's suggesting anything further. So maybe we'll just chill then. For like the final half an hour, we'll do some Q&A or whatever. All right, yeah. So you guys tag me in chat. All right, anything you guys want to talk about? No, I'm not interested in Mortal Shell. I'm not. Mortal Shell, the first one, from what I'm to understand, was very similar to like a Souls-like, but it had like guns and projectiles and things, right? Am I right or wrong there? I don't know. But I remember we had watched it before. I'm just not interested. Like, I don't care about it. To be honest with you, I'm not interested in these hyper difficult Souls-like spin-off style games at all, unless it's made by FromSoft. I've played too many of them. There are too many of them. They're just not interesting to me anymore. It's kind of like it's a trend that burned out a long time ago, yet people still insist on buying and playing the games, so they still make them. But I'm just not interested anymore. You know what I mean? I just don't care. They're the same shit over and over. Okay, that is what I'm interested in. That was a great suggestion from Mr. Bobobo. He says, what about the Backrooms trailer? I don't know about the Backrooms. I've never played any game of the Backrooms. I don't know about the creepypasta, but I know they're making a real mainstream movie of it. All right, let me find that. I'm interested in reacting to that. Don't know why I started playing ambient music. I didn't tell it to. It's actually a month old? I didn't even realize that. Damn, I never saw it. Okay, 27 million views. I'm going to assume that's the real one. Okay, let's watch it. It's 2 minutes long. Cool. The Backrooms. Ready? Okay, ready?
I found something. In the store.
I think it's A24. Isn't that the film company that produced it?
Okay. What did you find?
Look at that.
Place. I found a place.
Huh.
Hello?
Whoa, someone there. So I've never, again, I don't know anything about this at all. This is my first experience with any of this.
Anyone there?
It comes out this month, huh? Huh.
Look, I know how this sounds, but you gotta understand, it's massive in there.
I'm not saying I don't believe you.
Okay, I'm gonna come back here with proof.
All right, you feel me? Yeah.
Follow my lead.
Clark, what is this?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. I've been here every night since I found the place, and I still barely scratched the surface. All right, just take it slow.
So you know what? You know what this reminds me of? Control. This reminds me of, like, this is some kind of a weird interdimensional break, or like reality is folding on itself and breaking. Like, maybe there really was a back room in this store, and somehow because of some weird spatial anomaly or dimensional anomaly or multiversal anomaly, it's become this broken place where the physics don't make sense. Nothing makes any sense. It's all the ideas corrupting on each other, right? And so they're exploring and trying to figure out, is there any logic to it? And there is none.
All these rooms, this place builds them. It's like a maze. It just goes on and on. Sometimes I'm scared I'll get lost.
Clark, can you hear me?
I don't understand. What is this?
It's beautiful.
Oh, guess what? It's, I have to pause, and I have to go off the screen because they did detect the trailer. I want to watch the rest of it, but we have to go back here for a minute because YouTube detected it, and even though it's legal to do a react, it's been proven in a court of law, YouTube says, we don't care about the law. This trailer was loaded into our database, therefore you have to stop reacting to it or else we'll shut down your stream. So I have to wait. Backroom Ideas was from 4chan originally, and Control was inspired by it. Interesting. So dumb. The YouTube thing is just so dumb. Like, they have no legal right to do any of this. You can't shut down my fucking stream because I'm reacting to a movie trailer. It's legally viable to do. A judge ruled it legally viable that as long as you are reacting and giving impressions or whatever, it is considered review and commentary, and you can do it. Doesn't matter if it's copyright. Doesn't matter if it's licensed. You can still react to it. All right? Maybe if you want, you can argue the ad revenue should be taken away or shared. But you can't shut down my stream because your system is busted and you're too lazy to design a real one. These are the same nerds who code YouTube and they think they're so smart. They can't be bothered with making a system that works. They just make the one that arbitrarily shuts you down no matter what because they're too lazy to make one that really works. I don't even care about making money on this React. I just want to react to it, to know that it exists and share that experience with you. It's legal to do so. A judge said it was, but YouTube doesn't care. And it pisses me off that they get away with it. They should actually be forced legally to make their site abide by the law, and they don't. Okay, it went away. Now I can actually finish reacting to the trailer. What a pain in my ass.
Am I right?
Hello?
Oh God, she's covered in blood. That's not good. See, I think it's an interesting premise. It can make a fascinating movie. And it doesn't have to be overly complicated. It doesn't need tons of budget or special effects. It could just be they build these series of rooms that are just even more horror, horror stuff, right? There you go. Let's see here. No, I'm not oh my God, I'm just ignoring it. Fuck this nonsense. Okay. Stupidity. Okay. Jay Kuma says it's kind of cool they're using internet lore. Let me actually play some music now. It's kind of cool they're using internet lore to make an actual film. At the time analog horror was on the rise along with disturbing liminal space images, it seems interesting to me. I agree. I think that could be a fascinating movie. I want to see it. Comes out in May. What I'm hoping is that kind of movie might not play well in theaters, but once it hits digital, it probably will do really good. So hopefully it'll go on demand like quickly so that we can actually watch it on like for example, I was really interested in Iron Lung when it came out. I don't care about Iron Lung anymore. Like, that ship has sailed. I don't give a shit. I wish that Markiplier had found a way to get Iron Lung digital like right away. It's too late. I don't care. It sucks because I would have watched it and loved it months ago, but now, that fad is done. Yako Mighty says, maybe just put the trailer on a small screen on small square in your corner of your screen and play music. I know. Oh, I want to watch a trailer. I have to shrink it down, distort it, flip it, make it monochrome, or reverse the color scheme, and then play music while I'm watching it. Then maybe I have a chance I can watch it. Thanks, YouTube. Yikes. Amir, I've not heard of that one. He says there's a movie coming out called Hugh Jackman's Death of Robin Hood. Well, I'll be honest with you. I would react to it, except we've already had problems. I think I'm done reacting for today. I think we did a lot there. Okay? So. All right, so again, thank you for chilling with me here. We have about 20 minutes left to hang out before we end the show. So whatever you guys want to talk about, tag me in the chats. Let's see what you guys are interested in. Mir Curry Plays is asking, am I interested in playing Final Fantasy VI Pixel Remaster? Yes. Like I said, now that we've finished Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, okay, what I would like to do is get into the Pixel Remaster collection again. I've only played one of those games. It was 5, okay? I would love to play 4 or 6, which are the 2 that I grew up with. Those are the first 2 RPGs that I actually played in their entirety. So I would love to play those games for you guys as playthroughs on the channel. I've already played them before, but never the Pixel Remaster. So this would be full HD, widescreen, redone visuals, redone music, stuff like that. Tweaked that, made better. I would absolutely love to do that. But we're not going to do it right away. We just got out of a nearly 60-hour RPG playthrough. If I'm going to do a game like that, I'll probably wait for later in the year at a time when maybe there's nothing else going on and we're looking for something for the rotation. Then we'll bring it in. So, am I going to see Supergirl this summer? No, I didn't even see Superman, so I'm not going to see Supergirl. I do still like Mouse PI for Hire. I'm enjoying the game a lot. I can't wait to play it again. King Michael, I'm well aware of that. He says, I'd rather see Mouse PI tomorrow. I would still watch you react, but I don't like drama. I hear you. I know. It's not for everybody, right? Am I interested in the new Virtua Fighter coming out? Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I've only played that one Virtua Fighter. What was it? 5? The one that came out on like PlayStation years ago. I played it and I liked it. It was all right. Like, my problem with Virtua Fighter is it's a very technical game. You really do need to memorize and master a character to play well with them in a competitive way. And the reason for me that I stopped playing it was I would have had to play it dramatically more, and I wasn't going to play the game 5-6 streams a week. You know what I'm saying? It's Virtua Fighter. No one even really cares about it or plays it. It's one of the dead franchises of fighting games, quite frankly. Every once in a while, they bring it back and it dies again. So, because of that, it wasn't worth the investment of time. You know, if anything, if you're going to invest that much time in a fighting game, you got to play one of the big ones, whether that's Street Fighter or Tekken. Those are the ones worth investing time in. You'll probably get an audience. You'll never get an audience to be, a high-level Virtua Fighter player. So that's why I didn't bother with it. What's up, TX Shooter? How are you today? It's good to see you. Battleduck says, I'm feeling the same way about the upcoming Mandalorian movie. It's only in cinema. Feels like such a letdown. I don't care if it's good or bad. I'm not ever stepping into a cinema. For me, here's the thing. I get it. There are movies that you want to see in the movie theater. The big budget action movies, meant to have surround sound and big screen experience, okay? But I think we also have to understand that COVID kind of changed everything, and there's a lot of people that don't want to go to the movie theater anymore. I'm not saying to destroy the movie theater experience. I don't believe in that. I do think that there are movies that's their place. At the same time, I don't think The Backrooms is one of them. Like, that's a small movie horror experience, right? So I want to see that on demand as soon as possible digitally. I want to watch it. If I can't watch it within like a month of it being out in theaters, then I don't care. I'm never going to want to watch it again. It's just the fad is gone. The time is over. Maybe in 2 years it'll be free on one of the services I have, and on a whim I'll watch it. Long past the time that anyone will care about my opinion about it, right? Would I consider VR games? Here's the thing. I've talked about this occasionally. I'll bring it up again. I played VR at the launch of PlayStation VR. I bought it, and right here in this very room, a very different setup, but right here in this very room, I played VR games, okay? My experience was the first month, I actually was blown away. I had never experienced VR before in my life, and I was like, wow, this is really interesting to see the different things they could do with VR. Particularly, I remember the horror stuff was really creepy and gave me goosebumps, right? And then after that month, okay, I started to try to look for more VR stuff to play. And after the initial wave of games, some of them were better or worse. But some of them started giving me motion sickness. So I could barely play them more than like 20 minutes at a time before I had to barf. Okay? The visor was uncomfortable. It was heavy on the neck. It created a very humid, steamy kind of situation in the eyepiece. It would not be comfortable. It would steam up and have condensation. And while I was doing this, playing these games, there was absolutely positively no way for me to see and interact with my audience. So it was just me playing the game for a length and then taking everything off and talking with the audience and then going back. Basically, when I became a full-time streamer, okay, and I changed my formula to be interactive with the audience and everything's based on going back and forth with the audience, I realized VR won't work for that. Now, since then, I know VR has improved, right? Now the VR headsets are smaller, lighter, more compact, less taxing on the neck, more comfortable, don't build up as much condensation. Some of them even have ventilation now to stop that issue. I'm aware that with some of these VR headsets, you can actually have the VR, like you'd have the chat playing on the side of your VR headset so you could see chat while you're actually playing a game. Okay, I'm well aware they've made all these advancements. But every single time that I hear about this, I say, okay, so what games should I play? And what you just heard is exactly the response you get, because there are no killer app VR games. Literally, there's zero. The one that people would say from time to time is Half-Life Alyx, okay? But outside of that, which, by the way, is an older game now, no one ever says, oh, this is the killer app VR game, right? Really? Like, everyone has a different answer, but no one has a consensus. And what that tells me is that VR is still a gimmick, that game developers aren't seriously developing big games for it that anyone's going to want to always play or say, oh, this is a game of the year contender style thing. And so for me, is it worth it to invest in a headset, a console, whatever it may be, to have the latest VR, whether it's, you know, it's on PC, it's on PS5 Pro, whatever it would be? Does it make sense to invest all of that to then go play it to find out it's just not that entertaining for my audience because VR isn't very good or isn't that interesting, you know? I feel like when PSVR came out, that was the one time that made absolute sense for me to try it because it was a cool thing to try with my audience live. It was an interesting experiment, something I'd never done before, okay? And everyone was interested, is VR coming to consoles going to be worth it? So what I would say is this. Probably the only time that I would consider trying VR is if in the future there's a big new VR announcement. We have created the absolute best VR headset, the best lineup of games, and we want to make VR mainstream or something like that. Then I'd be like, all right, they're claiming this is going to be great. Let me try it. But on a whim, would I just buy a bunch of VR shit and start messing around with it here? Probably not. I have more room now than I ever did before. Like right now, I could go all the way back here. Okay? And now I actually have a space where I could do VR. The only thing is my microphone would be a little bit of a problem. I'd have to figure out how to position the mic. But outside of that, look, full range of motion where I could move and do VR stuff. I could even stand up. See? I designed the studio now, so I have a lot of room. I'm not condensed in and blocked in like I used to be. That was the problem when I used to do VRs. I didn't have room to do anything. I actually do have room now. Okay? So the problem is I just don't see the point. You know what I'm saying? I don't see the point in doing it. I don't think that anyone's going to really care. Okay? Okay. Being honest. Thank you, Princess Luna, for a gifted membership. That's our first membership of the day. Let's get that up on the leaderboard. Thank you for the early support, everybody. Up to 48 bucks and climbing. I really appreciate that. Okay. No, I'm done reacting. I'm not going to react to anything else on this show. We only have a few minutes left anyway. Okay. That is true. Frosted Shard says you could use this mic. He's right. I could use the Rode mic. I could clip that on me, and that could be my microphone for playing VR. That's actually a viable solution that Frosted Shard just suggested. That I don't need this mic at all. I could push it out of the way. You're right. But again, I need a reason. I need a real reason to do VR. I need a real, like, killer app game comes out that everyone's playing and wants to see me play, or a new VR thing has launched and everyone wants to see me cover it at launch. Is it good? Then I would do it. I'm not just going to buy VR and start doing it on a whim. I don't think anyone's going to care. Would I play Minecraft again? It's been so long. It hasn't been long. It's been a year. Last spring, we brought Minecraft back. We played it on that very PC with mods, so it looked amazing, right? We had a ton of mods that were installed. Tons of mods that were installed for Minecraft that made it feel like a different experience. And it was fun. We played it for like 2.5 months, something like that. And then people got bored. People stopped showing up, stopped supporting, and were like, meh. So I said, well, fine, we'll move on. So I don't think, at this point, I have now played Minecraft at various different stages. I played it when it was earlier on. I played it, years later, like fan-made stuff. Then I basically had kind of a tour of Minecraft by various people. There was the over year-long run where I was weekly playing Minecraft, and we were fishing and building and doing statues and all kinds of crazy stuff with the help of Mr. Papavera. And then we had this last run a year ago. That was me kind of building stuff with mods and stuff, and that was fun too. But, I mean, we've kind of done it all. I don't see what the value would be of going back to Minecraft another time on top of all of that. No, if we're going to do Ballad of Gay Tony in GTA 4, the only way I think we're ever going to get it to work, sadly, is just the plain vanilla, which means it's going to look exactly the same as the last time that I played it over a decade ago. The mods just don't work with it. For some bizarre reason, we tried tweaking the shit out of it. We tried adding mods, removing mods, doing it. They don't work. The game just dies. Every single time that I tried it, it just wouldn't work. So the only way that we could play it would be bare vanilla. You know, I'd have to uninstall all the mods from GTA 4 and just load Ballad of Gay Tony cold and just play it as a base game. Maybe I would do that at some point, but sadly, we know the mods don't work with it. Am I going to play Subnautica 2? I don't know. I honestly don't know. But that's up to you guys. I played Subnautica 1. I liked it to an extent, but then I got bored. So, I don't know if you guys would want Subnautica 2 or not. I played World of Warcraft 3 different times. I played it when it first came out. I played it in the mid-2000s with a group of friends and coworkers. And then I played it as a YouTuber. Alright? The reason I can't play it as a YouTuber is because it has absolutely no protections against trolling. Even if you hide what server you're on or whatever, people will just find you on the server, go right to the area you're in, and grief you. And that's all it is. It's non-stop trolling and griefing, and there's no way to stop it. So I would never be able to play it. As much as I would probably enjoy doing it, I can't do it because people just grief the area, and then you can't actually make progress. It's just a waste of time. No, I'm never playing Mario Kart World again unless there's a good reason. The base gameplay is awful and is not competitive at all. It's a waste of everybody's time. It's actually one of the worst Mario Karts ever made and a huge, insane ripoff for the price, and I'm not wasting time with it again. Plus, I crushed my trolls in it too. You know, my trolls always stream sniped me, and I beat them all, which is absolutely fucking hilarious that I proved that I'm better than the trolls at the game that they're trying to troll me in and just crush their nuts. Would I consider Tony Hawk? Izuna Drop, enjoy your ban. I absolutely did beat them. My final stream, I crushed them in the fucking final race and won everything. So go fuck yourself. You're a liar. Would you consider Tony Hawk again? No. We played Tony Hawk, the original collection. It was great. When we played the second collection, no one really cared, and it didn't do well. So I'm not going to go back to it. We're done with Tony Hawk. This person just says, Jesus, your stream is constant complaining and negativity. I know if trolls like you would just shut the fuck up and stop whining and stop making up incorrect statements and posting them as fact, it would be much better. But you guys just keep coming to the chat and acting like idiots. I agree with you. If you would just shut up, it would be much better. Rose Diamonds, we just reacted to Blood of the Dawnwalker. Were you not here? And I'm kind of on the fence about it. It doesn't impress me. It also doesn't look bad, but I don't know if it's going to be any good. Oh, you weren't here. Well, you missed it. Well, you could rewind the podcast or watch it later and you'll see. I reacted to it. It just looks okay. It kind of looks like Witcher, but with vampires. And like I said, the one thing that might be unique is if you have like a skill tree where you could play the vampire differently. Like I saw he could transform into a wolf, but also he has like vampire shout and stuff. Imagine you just go one skill tree and you play the game one way, or you go another skill tree and you play the game a different way. That I could see being kind of interesting. But outside of that, just the whole world and everything didn't look that impressive to me. Will more people watch Mortal Kombat 2 or Street Fighter? I would say Street Fighter. Because we already had the Mortal Kombat movie. This is the sequel. And yeah, Johnny Cage is in it. You know, the guy who plays Billy Butcher is a prominent actor now because of The Boys. But Street Fighter has such crazy pop culture appeal. You've got rappers, pro wrestlers, real actors, all people acting in this thing. Just like the crazy menagerie of people that are involved with this movie, and no one knows what it's going to be, if it's going to be any good. I saw the trailer and I was like, wow, the premise is interesting. You just don't know if the execution will be good. But yeah, I think the Street Fighter movie is going to do much better than the Mortal Kombat sequel. That's my take. I did stream Path of Exile 2 when it was in early access. No one cared. I bought the game. I played it that first stream. It flopped miserably. Everyone said it was boring as shit. So I never played it again. Okay. Any final questions or comments, anyone, before we adjourn the show? Now would be the chance. Can we expect a return to DS politics in the future? Not immediately and not soon. I don't want to say never. In life, you never say never. And the truth is that as I get older, okay, likely as I get older, there'll be situations where I won't be as gaming as much. I'll want to do more variety of content. As I get older, there may actually be a reason for me to speak out about politics more, okay? At this point, I don't see the point. There's so many internet grifters who are politics, 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 and it's always this polarizing, one-sided, all the way to the left or all the way to the right perspective. It's never a actual, intelligent, calm, rational perspective. It's always, they're the horrible enemies of everyone else, and you must say that they are your enemies, and if you don't, then I don't agree with you, and you're a piece of shit. Like, that's how these people are. Okay, so I want nothing to do with that. I don't. And we need to get to a point where it's not that bad, I feel, where people are willing to listen to reason and people who are more rational and more calm than just drama, 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 because that's all politics has become. It's become the next drama topic. So I'd be okay with doing it later. I'm not doing it now. There's no point. How long did it take to actually set up this setup? Ages. So in 2024, I started slow incremental upgrades, such as someone actually at that point donated a gaming PC and a PS5 Pro. I was like, oh my God, that's amazing that they did that. Then by the end of 2024, I started actually upgrading my setup. I bought a better capture streaming PC. I bought these new webcams. I bought better lighting, okay? Bought a better microphone and stuff like that. Then I calmed down and basically used that setup all through 2025. Then in late 2025, I did another wave of upgrades. I went from playing on a TV to 2 high-end gaming monitors, all right? I got a new audio interface device. I got a big desk here now that I work from. I upgraded things in the background and stuff like that. So it's been a slow thing over 2 years that I just incrementally keep kind of improving. There's still things I could do. I'm aware there's still other things that I can upgrade and do. At this point, I like what we're doing right now. I want to kind of stick with it for a while, but maybe near end of this year, it'll be time for another round of improvements, right? But for now, I think people are happy with the improvements that I made and are liking the things that we're doing. We've already talked about it. Like, what are the upgrades that I could still do? I could upgrade the camera quality more if people wanted that. I don't know if they do. I could actually get a higher end PC because the capture streaming PC I have is good, but I can't really go like full 4K or I can't capture and stream at 4K at the same time, if that makes sense, because I co-stream and capture. So I would have to actually up it a little bit more, and it would actually have to have like a dedicated capture card that's an internal capture card that's better than the external one I have in order to do some things. Like I would like to use G-Sync. I can't because I don't have the capability with my capture device. I would have to get a better PC to even use a better capture device. So there's little tweaks that basically can happen, okay? Big changes, probably not so much, right? I don't think there'd be too many ginormous blow you away changes at this point because I'm already, you know, streaming and capturing in such great quality. I've got good setup in the studio. I've got any console I need. I got any format I need a game. I got it. I got all the peripherals I need. You know what I mean? Oh, and by the way, one final thing. Okay. I purchased the Steam controller 2 days ago. It was Monday morning. Monday, May 4th. As of now, they have packaged my Steam controller. They haven't shipped it yet, but it's been packaged. So there was an update. Okay? I don't know when it's going to arrive. It could arrive soon or not because they haven't shipped it yet. I won't know until they ship it. Then they give you the tracking number. But as of this morning, it was packaged. So it's probably going to be shipped by the end of today. And then I would let you guys know when I'm going to get it so we can do my Steam controller unpacking and testing and all of that. Okay? Yeah, I know. Scalper's got most of them. It's pathetic how Scalper's got almost all of the Steam controllers because Valve didn't really put anything in place to prevent it, so they just sucked them all up. It's sad. Gamers should be getting these things, not resellers, you know? And by the way, Jasper and Cat are great Cracker Jacks. Thank you for asking. They're good. All right. Absolute last chance to get a question in before we end our 2-hour show for today. The takeaway is I'm still on the fence about doing a react to this, quartering documentary. So far, it hasn't been taken down yet. It's over 100,000 views in 7 hours and climbing. Maybe this thing will do 400, 500K views in a day. That's amazing if it does. I mean, good on Jude the King. But I am nervous that it's going to get a flag. It's going to get taken down for nonsensical reasons. So, like I said, if I'm going to react to this thing, I got to do it when it's hot. I'd have to do it tomorrow to start and test the waters and see how it does. But I'm curious if I should do it or not, because it seems like the audience is split yet again, right? I'll have to think about it. Garrett says, what's the next game this month coming out? That's a big one. Next week. I have it actually, well, it's not on the frame this morning because this is the podcast animations. It is called Directive 8020. It's the next game from the Dark Pictures anthology. You know, Supermassive Games. They finally are coming out with the next wave of games, and it starts this year with this Directive 8020. That comes out Tuesday of next week. We're playing it for sure. Like, those are great games, good narrative games where I can make good reactions and make choices that determine the fate of the characters and stuff. I think that's going to be a good playthrough, so I'm excited for that. Well, that's the thing. I agree with you, Mercury Plays. Mercury Plays says, well, maybe you should just react to it tonight, because what if it gets flagged by tomorrow? You're right. But I've already made promises, and I'm the kind of guy, listen, I'm not going to just drop everything to jump on the hot drama trend. I'm not. Today, we already promised everyone a Sorrow stream and the conclusion of Pragmata. I'm not going to say, oh, I'll change all that now to just capitalize on drama nonsense. I'm not going to do that. So today, we're having our normal streams. The earliest we'll do it is tomorrow. Okay, folks. So I want to say thank you for a great show. Now, will there be another podcast this week? It's possible. If we do another one, it'll likely be Friday. It'll probably be the daytime stream this coming Friday. We'll do a podcast if I feel like there's enough worthy of covering or talking about it. Okay? Gatorade did a $2 super chat. He says, why didn't Valve do a 1 per person deal? See, I don't know how it works. When I added it to cart and checked out, there was no ability to have more than 1. Seriously, there wasn't. Like, it didn't say, oh, do you want 2 or 3? It was just, you say, click here to order, pre-order, check out, done. So I don't know, how people bought more. I think what people are saying is people just made botted Steam accounts. So they would sit there and each account bought 1. You see? And there was no check to see if the addresses were the same. There was no way to see if the Steam account was older than like an hour old. They should have basically done what Nintendo did. When the Switch 2 came out, Nintendo looked at people who had long-standing Nintendo accounts who already were subscribed to the Nintendo Online service, and as long as you had done that for a certain amount of time, they offered you the ability to purchase a Switch 2 and get it at launch. That was awesome of Nintendo, And that's what people are saying is they should have basically just did the same thing. That way you're ensuring that real gamers who play games on Steam are getting the Steam controllers and not resellers. But instead, apparently, they had nothing in place. So the resellers just made thousands of dummy accounts, mass bought the pads out, and that was it. Okay. Everyone, thank you so very much for watching the Level 1 podcast today. I hope that you enjoyed the show. Man, it was a lengthy one and we had a lot to talk about, but I think that it was a good one. I want to say thank you to everyone for chilling, and perhaps we'll have another podcast this coming Friday. If not, it will absolutely return this coming Sunday. Thank you for watching. I will see you soon. Peace out.